In 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to this episode of Away with Words, the podcast. It's your girl, Bri Stories.
It's MJM Kid.
And in the absence of our good sis, A Tati, we have a stand-in co-host for this episode and the next, Cardi P.
What's going on, everybody?
Woo, it's Cardi.
Cardi, would you like to introduce yourself in any particular ways before we get started?
Yeah, for sure. For anybody who don't know me, everybody should know me, though. My name is Cardé. Y'all can follow me on Instagram at Cardé Armani. That's C-A-R-D.
I didn't even say that. I said an introduction.
He's good at this, though. That's okay.
C-A-R. My Instagram is C-A-R-D-E Armani. Or y'all can follow my Louis Vuitton page, too. C-A-R-D-Y-L-V.
Now, define a Louis Vuitton page. What does that mean?
So, basically what it is I'm a client advisor at the Louis Vuitton store in Lenox. So, yes, I live in Atlanta, Georgia.
True.
And my LV page is, just how you can reach out to me instead of being on my my personal page. I post some things that we got in the store on my page. So, just get in contact with me.
Well, period. We are getting you connected to the things, all things luxury here at Away with Words, the podcast. The first thing we're going to do, so a couple of things. First, we're going to tell you what we're going to talk about today. I just want to have kind of like a loose conversation. I don't have a lot of conversations with men these days. So it's very good to be able to have a conversation with a man about something that I don't know about. I think that I can be kind of self-righteous. I get on the show and I think I speak very pointedly and very I know everything about this thing. But I think that there are some things that I don't have the same relationship with because I am not a man. So I just would like to have a conversation with you specifically about the whole movement that we call self-love. Self-love and self-care has been booming. And I think that the beneficiaries of it have mostly been women, especially black women. Which I love for us, and I think that is well-deserved and all those things. But I am very curious about the perspective of black men and how they're just seeing that happen. So we're going to get to that in a little while. But before that, we have to check in.
We do.
Before that, little couple housekeeping.
Yeah, okay.
Please make sure that you are always following us at Away with Words, the podcast on Instagram, as well as subscribed. If you are listening to this or watching this, make sure that you are always subscribed in those selective places. Please, ratings and reviews go a really, really long way. So if you can just take a little bit more of your time and leave a rating, a review, a like, a comment, please be sure to do that as well because I know that you are here because you like us. And if you like us, you want to see us grow. So thank you for doing that in advance. Also, Bri Stories Patreon. I have been doing weekly video diaries. Those are interesting. So tune into that as well. $7 holla. What else? That's it, I think, for now. Oh, subscribe on yamash.com, our website, all things Away with Words, the podcast, Your Morning Message podcast, my writings, Tati's writings. Subscribe there as well to get a weekly check-in.
Perfect.
Okay, and let's check in here.
Yeah.
Michael, would you like to start?
I would like to start.
Period.
Physically, I'm feeling.
You're going to catch on.
I had to say that to you so you know what's happening next. Just listen to. Okay. Physically, I'm feeling hot. There have been shots.
Yeah.
Very warm. There have been some other things, too. It's none of y'all business.
Sorry.
Emotionally, I'm feeling a lot of joy in this moment in time. A lot of joy.
Yeah.
It's a good day, a good Saturday. What my attention is on is actually it's the four-legged monster I have upstairs. Graham's here and he's just waiting on me. That's all. And spiritually, I am I feel connected spiritually.
Good.
Yeah.
I'll go next so that you hear it again. Physically, I am feeling I will describe it as wavy.
Okay, great.
Emotionally, I am feeling joy in this moment, lots of joy. My attention is currently on heat. I'm ready for it to be hot outside, and I want it now, right this second. And spiritually, I am feeling patient.
That's really good.
All right, y'all gonna have to walk me through this.
How are you feeling physically, Carde?
Physically,
Present time.
present time.
What do you
like,
feel
as
in
of
your
right
body? Yeah.
What do you feel physically?
relaxed.
Oh, good.
Nice. I love that.
Yeah, me too.
Emotionally?
Emotionally, I am. I'm gonna go generic and just say happy.
Period.
You know, I was able to come home and see my grandmother and everything, so that kind of
That's great.
soothed me out a little bit.
I love that. And what is your attention currently on?
Oh, I'm gonna say money and bettering myself.
Ooh,
That's really good.
I like that. And spiritually, how are you feeling?
I feel I would probably say like love.
Oh,
He's good at
I
this.
fuck with that.
That's somebody he's good at this.
perfect. Perfect. So the conversation that I want to take the opportunity that I have this young man present to have is really just about self-love. And I think that the emphasis in my mind is really on black men, but also cishet black men, and how I think that I don't want to assume, but it looks and feels to me like if I really look at it, like y'all are kind of left out. So I kind of just want a brief conversation just about confirming or denying that, whether or not you see yourself on a personal level as one of the people that's being marketed to when the conversation of self-love is happening, mostly on the internet.
I think, you know, as a society is gonna look at it as I don't want to say as being weak or kind of I don't know the word I'm looking for, so I'm gonna just stick with weak.
Yeah.
I think we can pick up with you.
Definitely.
Yeah, but I think it's like they you know, we're supposed to be tough all the time. We're supposed to be strong and, you know, the foundation, which can still be done. But I think too, like, we want to be loved. Like, I want to be. Send me some flowers. The little meme that been going around.
That's
real.
real.
Hey, my cash at work too. I receive money.
No, that's real. I was just saying, you saying flowers just made me think about something that I saw on Twitter that I thought was really dope. This young, I don't want to misquote this whole thing, but I think the gist of it, she was a grown-ass woman. She had a teenage son, and she was saying that she had began the habit of giving him flowers for, like, celebratory moments, his birthday, graduation, stuff like that. She was like, because so many of his peers, their first time getting flowers were at their funerals. And, like, that's kind of like a definite thing for young black men. So I saw that, and I was like, that is dope. You know, like, I want to start getting my brother flowers and, you know, lovers and friends, and, like, I just don't think that that's something. And me, y'all know I'm not even like the gender girl. Like, I'm not even the gender biased girl. But at the same time, we're all very programmed in the same way. I used to always give my girlfriends flowers for their birthdays, like, always. And it never occurred to me to bring Michael flowers for his birthday. You know, like, never. It just never even crossed my mind. Yeah. And I think that part of it is our own societal kind of brainwashing, for lack of better terms. But another part of it is also our societal brainwashing that men don't want those things, that wouldn't be of value. It's like I've had it set up in my mind where it's like when I bring flowers to Tati or to Dana or to Takia, they're like, oh, I love that, but I don't think that a man is going to react that way if I do it for a man. But in all actuality, it's really not even about that. You know,
because I may not react like that. Like,
yeah, you
took
might
my
not be
breath
like,
away,
oh
but
my
I might be like, it's gonna look foul on this table.
Exactly.
Walking in the crib, you know what
Exactly.
I mean? So,
there's still value in it.
yeah.
So, do you think that there are any in the media specifically? So you do the social media, you be on there. Do you ever see anything that you feel like is a message for men to love themselves? Like, do you feel like you ever come across anything like that resonates with you? I would say.
On social media,
Yeah.
I think social media is so like oddly tainted that for me at least I don't really see like a message in it for me as far as like self-love, but I'm sure other men do. I just don't look at social media for those type of things. You know what I mean? Social media for me is just
yeah, what is social media for you?
Bitches and hoes.
No.
No, I want to know.
I would say it was that for me. Like, it used to be that for me. Now,
until when? Like 2021?
Trying my pimping, ain't you? But no, I think as I started to kind of get older, like when I was playing with the Globetrotters and I was traveling, social media was for me to, I'm in a city, I find a spot to go to, some girls.
Why didn't you just get on dating apps like everybody else?
It was a time for that too. Yeah.
Somebody was probably on those as well.
Yeah, it was a time for that.
I love men's experience with social media in their way that they're able to do that. I don't think that a lot of women think of social media in that way, especially like when I'm out of town. I will literally be like, ooh, I'm on Hinge. Let me see like what type of guys are around this city. I would never be like, I'm on social media like this nigga that I know from high school live in this city. Like, what's up? What you and your friends do? I don't just never, which is probably a safer route.
Yeah, the best way to go.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's interesting that.
Yeah, so like other than like the dating apps, what I'm gonna give y'all the sauce to what we used to do.
Okay,
right?
period.
So,
let me hear it.
Get ready for
and
the
mind
sauce.
y'all, this was years ago, so
we both like,
y'all chill out.
no, so it's fine. Yes, years ago.
So say we on tour. Say I'm about to go to Houston. Cool. We gonna find out what's the poppin'est spots in Houston. On Instagram, I'm gonna search that spot. So let's just say I search the address. Cool.
Right.
As I'm going through it, the picture's gonna pop up. So
people who have tagged that location.
That's how we was finding.
So you was hitting up women who tagged the location that you were going to?
But you got to think about it. So it would go like this. I'm gonna break down a conversation for y'all.
Okay, period.
So say I hit you up, cool. I play for the Globetrotters. Whatever, start off with some small talk.
Right. You start with that.
Yeah, small talk. Then what you got going on Saturday night? We in town, we got a game, you and your girls want to come to the game, we'll get y'all some tickets.
Oh, wow.
Like, cool,
I'd be very thirsty.
So look, they go, now we got sand, the beach.
Okay, period.
After that, we find out where we going after. So
well, that's way better than being like, I thought that you were like hitting these girls up like, I see you frequent Blue Flame.
Will you be there tonight?
I'm going to be there Saturday. Maybe we could meet up. Like, how does that work?
You don't be odd about it.
Well, yeah, that makes sense for you to be like, okay, I see you in the city. I'm going to be there too. Here's some tickets.
That's what I'm saying. I definitely answer immediately.
That's definitely player. For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Okay.
He's very proud
impressed.
of himself.
I'm actually irritated because I don't want to give Cardi the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, exactly.
However, I'm impressed. I think that's a really good way to go about that.
I love that credit because Mike is. Oh, it kills him inside to give me credit.
I give you credit all the time. Please.
Okay, so if you don't go to social media for your messages and your kind of your guidance into self-love, where do you go? What has taught you how to love yourself?
Ooh, 2 questions.
Ooh, that's tough right there.
Mm-hmm.
What has taught me how to love myself?
Mm-hmm. Do you love yourself?
3 questions.
Some days.
Yeah.
That's
like
very human.
Yeah, some days. Some days I do. Some days I'll be like, you want some tweaking.
Yeah.
You know, but what has kind of taught me that was, I think, trying to love other people. You kind of see like where your nicks and your armor is, where your flaws are. So for me, it was always kind of just trying to figure out how to love myself so that I could, possibly love somebody else or whatever the case may be. So I think I don't know where it comes from though.
Yeah.
I think it's just a natural thing for me.
I fuck with that. So I have women who I look up to, who I look at and I'm like, that's it. Like, where that woman is, for me, it's if Tracee Ellis Ross and Issa Rae were one person, I'm like, that is my fucking role model.
Fantastic
like,
women.
And Tracee Ellis Ross specifically, obviously we don't know her business. For all we know, she got a Stedman somewhere.
Nobody knows her business.
30 years. Like, for all we know, who knows? I think that she's been kind of open about being single. But, she don't have to tell her shit. So I don't know. But I think that she portrays this comfort with being alone. And, like, going on trips by herself and being very successful independently, especially to be the daughter of someone so prolific and fucking iconic. Like,
Is she alone, though?
But that's what I'm saying. Right. That's what I'm saying. I don't know. But I think that she portrays herself in that way, in a way that for a lot of, I don't know about a lot of women, but for me specifically, who, battles with my up and downs in this whole dating and love and really like, okay, like real love, like real self-love is being genuinely okay either way. Like, if I get a nigga, cool, but if I don't, like, that shouldn't be the reason why I'm not having a good time. And we all know girls like that. We all know girls that are, like, genuinely not having a good time because the niggas that are giving them attention, or they don't have a nigga at the time, or that's, like, the main thing that they kind of focused on, that sort of thing. And I think that I've always really been a person that strives to be like, either way, I'm gonna fucking enjoy myself. Well, I'm not gonna come. Like, you know, like, I can sulk in my house, like, but if I'm gonna go out and be seen and do stuff, or decide like, oh, I'm gonna go to this restaurant, I'm gonna check out this, you know, I think about Tracee Ellis Ross, because I'm like, she just be going places seemingly by herself, but for all I know, probably not. But she just is like the epitome of like self-love. And I wonder, is there a male figure like that?
I was about to ask him that.
Is there a man that you look at, and maybe not even a celebrity, but is there a man that you look at that's like, that nigga love himself?
Yeah, like
and I want to love myself like that.
I was trying to think of just somebody who I've seen, who I can think like about like that. But like, you know, when you brought it up, I don't know.
Not Drake.
Drake actually. Like,
he does do that.
I think he fuck with himself heavy.
He does.
Cuz definitely lit. But
he definitely does.
I don't. He's like a whole different level type. So
why do you think that?
I mean, let's be honest. The money.
Oh, okay.
So it's a different type of. You know what I mean? Granted, he might be going through.
Right. I mean, Tracee Ellis Ross too, because her portrayal of self-love is some real lavish shit. It's not like her posting. I mean, sometimes she does, but you know that meme that's going around of her being in that pool with that drink. Like, I think about shit like that, and it's like, I think that I'm pretty sure she was like on a solo trip, because I think I've seen blogs where they're like, Tracee Ellis Ross is like the queen of solo trips and and it's just like that sort of comfort. Like, is there a man
I think
like
it is.
that? I think that niggas be trying to get bitches a lot. Not trying to get bitches, but that's the thing. Men can get bitches. It seems to me that men have the capacity to get bitches just in the proximity of them easier than women can get men around them. Like, a male groupie, I think, is a rare thing, and it's also not a sought after thing. I'm not like men, like a wealthy, successful man. If they don't have, like, the girl that they like around, they'll be cool hanging out with the bitches that fucking followed they fucking tour bus or whatever. They'll be like, yeah, come to the telly, like, whatever. And then pictures get posted, blah, blah, blah. Tracee Ellis Ross is not looking at the nigga that fucking showed up at her show where I had talk early and being like, yeah, come hang out at the hotel, you know? So it's like, I feel like it's different. It's also like, the way that I look at Tracee Ellis Ross is like a portrayal of self-love, and how it looks that way because she's often alone. I don't think that a lot of men even have the opportunity to show that side of themselves because bitches just be around.
I do got one person though that I look at like that.
Okay.
Rick Ross.
Interesting. Tell us more.
If you just look at him, like, I think yesterday he posted a video on a 4-wheeler. The way he looked on this 4-wheeler, like a kid, like, he just doing whatever fuck he want to do with life. You know what I mean? He carefree. He don't give a shit about what he say. You know what I mean? It's just,
I guess I don't really follow Rick Ross like that.
Me neither. That's admirable, though.
Yeah, Ross really, he love himself.
I love that. That's good.
Come on, Rick.
So for any men out there, if you are looking for a man to portray self-love for you in a way that you can kind of follow and aspire to, Rick Ross.
Absolutely.
That is our offering. Carde, do you know your love language? I hate this question. Yeah. But it's a real thing. So.
It is a real thing.
Mine is touch.
Physical touch. Are you just saying that?
No. Okay. Like it is like.
Okay. That's like your number one.
That's how you know somebody really cares for you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Their intimacy.
You see how, like, when we took the picture, put your hand, like, I kind of just, I don't know. I like to
gravitate to that.
Yeah.
How do you think that you love yourself in your love language? Do you do that with the intention of loving yourself, though? Like, are you doing that to show yourself love, or is it just kind of like a robotic?
Like touching myself?
Sure.
I mean,
I'm being honest. Are you doing that to be like, this is how I'm showing myself love? Or are you doing it to, like, cure, like, you know, I used to think of horniness the same as being hungry, right? Like, if I'm hungry, I'm going to go eat. So if I'm horny, I'm going to take care of that somewhat. Like, are you doing it like that, or are you intentionally being like, I need to fill my cup, I need to love myself.
And I deserve this. And
this is how I'm going to do it. Because there are other ways to do it, too. But do you think that you do it with that thought in mind?
I don't think I have a thought in mind when I do it.
Okay.
I don't think I strategically go about it. Like, it's just...
Like, here's my self-care day.
You feel it?
Yeah.
It's a feeling.
Yeah.
It's a feeling. And then
you just answer a call,
so
to speak. Okay, so I too, well, words of affirmation is my number one love language, and physical touch is close second, right? But one of the things that I've started doing, because I meditate a lot and stuff, and one of the things that I started doing was giving myself hugs. And that sounds crazy. Like, it doesn't, I don't know, maybe it sounds weird, but it does something. Like, it really, really does something. And, like, I think that I used to always think of when I first started learning about physical touch as a love language, and started learning that we also can express our love to ourselves with our love language. In my mind, it was the same thing. It was like, I masturbate all the time. Like, that's how I do that. But it's like, no, I also am physically intimate with myself in other ways, giving myself hugs, kissing my arms, or, you know, things like that. So just a suggestion if you ever just want to take it up a notch.
I got you.
Not
rub my ear or something, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for real. Like, honestly.
That's very real.
Okay, so so this is kind of off topic, but because I'm just curious, do you think that when choosing a partner, do you think that you have done a good job at finding people who align with your love language, or have you struggled with loving people in your love language and that's not necessarily theirs?
No, I think I've always kind of had someone that aligns. I mean, especially with like my number one. I don't know, just as we're building up, you know, in the beginning, I kind of let it be known, like, I kind of like to kind of, you know, like, I'll lean on you, you know, damn it, like what a dog would do. I guess, but wow,
He set himself up for that.
Right choice of words.
Come on, like a dog.
Like, yes, like a dog.
But no, I would say, like, the partners that I've had, I would think they are pretty much aligned with, you know, what I like.
Have you ever felt any fulfillment in your love language from playing sports? Do you get any fulfillment from the touch that you experience from sports? No. Like, not, and I don't mean it in like a homosexual way, obviously, because I know what you're thinking.
No.
But, like, do you ever just feel like, do you come out of it? And I think it's important the way you think of it, right? Because fulfillment might sound like intimate or romantic, but like sometimes you come away from doing something and you feel like just.
Yeah, bust your ass. You said I dunked on your ass. Like,
now see,
no, that's not what I mean. But you know how you come away from, like, if you leave the gym or something, like, I don't know, like, if you exert a certain amount of energy and you feel like, just like you're on your home base, like you're on your home frequency, like you feel like, okay, I'm good. Like, you know, like, do you think that you get that from the touch that you experience from sports?
So basketball used to be that. I would say that basketball used to be like, you know, when I go play and then when I'm done, like I'm good. Like, that was my release from, you know, from everything else, whatever. But now it's kind of changed. You know, I'm getting older. I'm finding newer things that I like to do. So now it's riding motorcycles.
Oh, nice.
That gives me, like.
And that's very sensory.
Yeah.
It vibrates and your hands. That's
that gives
cool.
me
all your senses.
That gives me, that feeling that I had when I would play basketball all damn day. We done went to 4 different gyms.
That's great.
The motorcycle does that for me now.
Yeah.
I love that.
That's what's up.
I love that. So I think that is a really good way to kind of just say and to advise to other people that, like, be open to the ways in which that you can fulfill yourself in the ways that you need to be loved. So if you do know what your love language is, I know it's, I kind of roll my eyes at it because it's become such a, like, cliche, trendy. Like, but I mean, it's real shit. Like, it's really real. So if you know what your love language is, don't hesitate to figure out how to do those things on your own. Like, love language is not just for partnerships. Yeah. And it's literally not just for romantic partnerships. Like, I talked to my therapist about it a long time ago, that we have a top love language, but if you think about your healthiest relationships, which for a lot of us are our friends, all of those love languages are usually fulfilled in your friendships.
Absolutely.
All of my friends fulfill all 5 of those love languages for me, even the ones that don't mean that much to me. Like, acts of service is not a big deal for me. But I have people that go out of their way to do stuff for me or just check on me and make sure I'm good. Or, like, oh, like, I live in an apartment and I don't drive. And, like, friends be like, oh, I brought you a case of water. Like, stuff like that. It's just like, oh, thanks. You know? Like, I have friends that think to do things like that. I have friends who I hold hands with and we hug often. And you know what I'm saying? So physical touch, words of affirmation, having somebody tell me like, girl, that shit was amazing. You're great. Like, you are so talented. Da, da, da. Like, a lot of our friendships fulfill all of those love languages. And I think that it's important that we think about those things outside of the context of just romance. Yeah. Intimacy in friendships is really important, y'all. Like, and I think that a lot of times when we are craving romanticism, a lot of things that we're craving, we're able to fulfill, if not on our own, but with the people that we already have around us. And I think that it's really important that we kind of keep that in mind, because a lot of times we give these niggas a lot. And niggas, I'm using gender neutrally, everybody. Like, when you miss somebody, you like, oh, this is the only place I can get that thing. No, it's not. Right. You can hug on your friends. You can cuddle with your friends. You can go out with your friends, candlelit dinners. You can do that shit by yourself.
What friends you can cuddle with?
I could cuddle with Michael. I could cuddle with all my friends.
She can cuddle with me.
I got a couple of friends who don't like touch. I do have a couple of friends who don't like touch, but even those friends, because I do, and it's not coming from a space of me being like, girl, let me hold your hand. Like, literally, I just see them. I won't say her name because I know she'll probably be embarrassed. She'll be bashful about it. But, like, she'll just, like, roll her eyes and just be like,
come here.
Right. But it's, like, not coming from a space of, like, she just knows that that's what you need. Like, that's what I need. So, like, yeah, you should be able to do stuff like that with your friends.
I feel like, I don't know, well, with me and my friends, how we kind of.
I'm sorry. You're right. I shouldn't be rolling
how we kind of, like, reciprocate that type of stuff is, we tell each other that we love each other. You know what I mean?
Good,
just out the blues. Sometimes, like yesterday, I was with Ty. My boy Ty. When we saw each other, we just hugged. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I ain't seen him in a while. So we do it. You kind of lost me with the cuddle part.
I mean, that's just an example.
Where do you draw the line at?
There's so many.
I hugged when we came in here. When you came in here,
that's what I'm saying.
And you draw the line wherever your line is. But I'm just saying that if you are in a space, especially the way that we put so much weight romantically, and I think that when we get into romantic situations, that also puts a lot of pressure on our romantic situations if that's the only place that you get certain things. Yeah. If your partner is meant to be the only person who touches you, who you confide in, who lifts you up verbally, who, like, if that's the only source for that, that's a lot. Like, you can also hug and cut, and if cuddling is too much, you choose where your line is. But I'm just saying there are ways to fulfill physical touch with your friend.
What if I came down here down these stairs and said, Bri, let's cuddle? Exactly.
So here's the thing. I know your intention in that. Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do. And if if that was a mutual need for us both, I don't think you're not a great guy, Carde. I just don't want to cuddle with you. But
cut that out.
I'm just saying. But if we had, first of all, Carde.
All right.
No, we're cool, right?
Y'all know, but y'all know how I get.
Yes, we know.
Yes, we know. But as I was saying, let's address it. Me and you are cool. But like, if we talked on a regular basis, maybe that would be like
for sure.
But it's like I genuinely don't know your. If you came down here and was like, "Let's cuddle," I would be like, "Carde, what are you talking about?"
I got a headache.
Now it's like a physical thing. My
head hurts.
Headache.
But you know what I mean. I'm talking about like your actual friends, the people that you keep up with on a regular basis. It's like society has told you that it's weird for you to cuddle them, but maybe it's not. And if that's something that's a mutual need for you both, and you know where the line is, it's like whatever. Like, you know. Do what you want to do. Do what you want to do. Because everybody has their line. Some people's line is past sex. Some people can just fuck their friends. And that's their business, you know. But if you have a friend and you are just trying to fulfill a certain need and y'all are mutually doing that and nobody's getting hurt and nobody's lying to nobody, like, do what you want to do, you know. That's all I'm saying.
For sure. All I got, for sure.
Anyway, what is my other question? Because I am really curious just about men's perception of like the whole self-love thing, because it does feel very it's exclusionary. Is that a word? It feels like it excludes a lot of people. It feels like there's not a lot of people a part of that conversation. And I think that it is because of its proximity to what people think is feminine. So it's
I was just about to ask that question because I don't feel excluded from that.
Exactly. But I think it's because you live a lifestyle where you're used to just being in close proximity with feminineness. Either it's by way of what people think it means to be a person like you. Like, you're just like, by this time, it's like, whatever, you know? Right. So there are people that are excluded, and that's why I think that it's important that's why I think that it's very important to center cishet black men specifically. Because I don't talk to white men. You know, I hope y'all are doing well, but I don't know. But the black men that I've talked about, it does feel like they're very excluded from that conversation when we're talking about loving yourself or even self-care. Even like self-care. I think that self-care is a little broader than self-love. Like self-care has become like literally anything you want it to be. Like Sunday Fun Day is self-care. Like get drunk with your friends, self-care.
Whatever makes you feel
good. Go get a
good.
manicure, that's self-care. Go take yourself out to eat, self-care. Like cool, whatever. But self-love in particular, it feels very like just the girls though. Just the femmes. Like, you know, it feels very like just us.
I think a lot of men too, well, I can't even really say this, but I'm going to just say what I think.
In your opinion.
Yes.
Yeah, in my opinion, I think a lot of men don't really understand what self-love is or know that they're doing it without knowing that they're doing it. Like having those conversations with yourself, that's self-love. Like you caring for you. You know what I mean? So I think it's just a disconnect. A lot of people really are just kind of lost in the meaning of what it could be.
Yeah.
I agree with
so
that.
I don't think they're necessarily excluded. I think they just don't know how to include themselves in it.
Okay, thank you for saying that because I didn't want to say that. I didn't want to, the way that I was gonna say it. I'm glad that you said that perfectly because the way that I would have said it would have felt very much like, but it's niggas' fault. Like y'all are the ones that are not doing the things because you the ones who feel like, oh, if I do this, I look sus, or and it's just like, or you could just go out to eat by yourself.
I do that all the
time. You know,
Same.
or you can just you can vent to your friend. But also,
all the time.
I'm not gonna spend a lot of time on this, but some women,
come on.
some bitches.
Come on, somebody.
Be on, and I mean, at first, you know, sometimes, you know, we joke. We be on Twitter having a good. I know I be on Twitter having a good time. Okay?
It's fun to see everybody.
It's fun. We're having a good time. We making jokes, but sometimes I'm like, this bitch not playing. Like girls who be like, I mean, as a man. Anytime a woman say "as a man," I don't want to hear the rest of that sentence.
That is for attention, though. They
want
the
repost. Why are you going out to eat on your birthday?
What?
A literal tweet I saw. As a man, why are you and your niggas going to brunch?
But they want y'all to see that.
Ass.
But they want you to repost.
I'm about to say, but it's like, so there's so many layers. Like the patriarchy has really harmed us all because men have created this concept, the patriarchy, of this is what a man looks like. And it's stoic, and it is emotionless, and it is hard, and sometimes harsh, and just very like, I go to work, and I sit in front of the TV, and that's it. Like, you know, and like that's what being a man is. And when my wife tells me to fix the shed, I do. Like, you know, like that's literally it.
Fix the shit. She says, fix the shit.
Like, I just fix shit, and I know how to change a tire. I'm a man. But it's like, and so there are men that are still withholding that, and then there are women that are like, yeah, that's a man. And that's the type of man that I want. And I think that everything
they don't get them room for nothing.
But you know what, too? I would say this. A lot of the women who look at it like that grew up with a dad like that. So their dad was a handyman. He did everything.
They saw that all the time.
And it's like, but then if you ever sit down and talk to your dad, it's like, is your dad happy? Was your dad fulfilled? Did your dad get all the things that he loved and desired? Or was he just the happy wife, happy life guy who like didn't get to do what the fuck he wanted to do and didn't get to fulfill his fucking needs? And it's like, and why would you want that? Why would you want that? And I think that some people maybe don't like think that deep into it. But like, I don't want that for my father. I don't want that for my brother. I don't want that for any man. I don't want any man.
Some men don't even want that for themselves.
Exactly, but it's like they don't have a choice. And I think that there's so many things though. Like there's so many men who we've had this conversation before. a lot of niggas who do a lot of cheating and stuff, it's not because they just fucking deviants. It's because they're not monogamous, but they don't live in a space where they're allowed to not be monogamous. And it's like, it's okay if in this space and time you're not a monogamous person, but men have been taught so much that you find a girl and bitches be, women be having shit, you know, especially these days. These are not no regular. It's not the 50s no more where you could just come across a girl who was just like, I just turned 18 and my whole life I've been training to be a housewife. Like, let's do it.
Right.
It's like, no, these girls got degrees. They got their own businesses. They travel. They pay for their own shit. So they get a woman and they like, I have to keep her happy, whatever the fuck she needs. And a lot of the times the stipulation is, okay, well, you just have to be faithful for me. And a lot of times women don't even mean that maliciously. They don't mean that to stifle them. That's just what their actual... like that's their heart limit, you know? But a man, they don't know that they have an option. They don't know that they could be like, I don't want to do that. They don't know that they can be like, hey, so actually I would like to love you and a bunch of other people for now, in this space and time. I don't know about the future, but that's where I am right now. But because that doesn't turn into, I don't know, I guess it's a lot to be afraid of because we make jokes about niggas being dogs and, you know, like stuff like that. So I get it. But it's also like so many men go unfulfilled because of a system that they made up, honestly.
Yeah. Damn, that's real.
Yeah.
Come right back
It's
around
just,
to men.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. The cycle is fucking harsh, but it is what it is, you know. And it's just a lot of women that play into it. But that was just my concern. I was just concerned that Black men don't see themselves in the phrase self-love. You know, like you don't see that and think like, yeah, me too. You know, because there's nothing that accompanies that looks like you or feels like you or resembles the way that you would do it.
Exactly.
So
I feel that.
I want y'all to love yourselves.
I love me.
I'm glad. And even on the days where you don't love yourself that day too. Even the days that
It's
you
hard,
tweaking.
though.
I
It be
know.
hard, though.
I'll trust me.
You know what I mean?
I know. But you have to. You have to love every version of yourself.
Well, I won't say on them days that I don't love myself that I don't love myself.
Of
I
course.
just may not love myself like I did yesterday.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
It's a different level to
Yeah.
it.
Today-
Exactly.
today
And
might just
that's
be,
perfectly fine. As long as you love
be
yourself.
alright. Yeah. You know,
That's great.
I love me though.
Well, any parting words, Cardi, before we wrap up?
We're gonna bring you back, Carde.
Y'all gonna bring me back?
Yeah, for the next ep.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, I think we're gonna do a cute little switcheroo next time.
Yeah.
That should be fun. But yeah,
parting
nothing
words?
else. Anything on self-love, Michael?
I love myself. And I give
Period.
myself self-love.
All the time.
My love language is physical touch as well.
Yeah.
And I wish I got it more from. I get it all from my women friends.
Yes,
they,
you do.
They give me all of them. I wish
Yes.
I got it more from more of my male friends.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And that's the thing, though. It's this. It's so. I think that's why I feel so much for men, but especially cishet men.
Yeah, for sure.
Because it's such a box of
there's a
like,
space for
I
you.
can only do this.
Absolutely,
I can only do
right.
these things, and especially and I think that. It's sadder now that so many women play into it, where they're like, I don't want my nigga doing it. And I used to be one of those women. I'm not gonna lie. I used to say,
Come on, Flex.
You don't want your nigga to do what?
I didn't want my nigga to carry an umbrella.
Interesting.
I used to think that was suspect.
But what if it's for you?
I didn't. No, it wasn't about that. I didn't
Oh.
want my man to own an umbrella.
So you just want him to
Isn't
be
that
wet?
ridiculous? Exactly. And it's like then when I separated myself from that, I'm like, how you like jiggy niggas and don't want a nigga to have a fuck? Like, I don't want my nigga to get his clothes all fucked up. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, girl, what are you talking about? But like when I was young, because
Wow.
I had men in
Yeah,
my
yeah,
life saying
yeah.
certain things to me, or portraying themselves in a certain way.
Right.
And when you're little. Your first, like, you really got to separate. And for some people, it never happens. And sometimes it doesn't either. Like, I don't think I have a type, but sometimes it shows up. Sometimes I'll be like, oh, I like this type of nigga because you kind of remind me of my dad or my uncle. Like, and that's weird when you say it that way. But that's kind of like your first scope.
That's what you see first.
That's when you figure, that's how you figure out or whatever. And I think I had a lot of, my uncles were just like, real gully, like, you know, and certain shit. Like, and my uncle used to tell me when I was little, never trust a man that doesn't have a watch. Like, if a man doesn't have a watch, he doesn't have nowhere to go. Like, he doesn't have anything. Like, shit like, and I used to be serious. And I'm fucking 14 looking at another 14-year-old.
Where you watching?
He don't have to go nowhere but third period like me. And I'm looking at him like, like,
not on these parts.
That's what I'm saying. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. But there are a lot of women that still kind of hold themselves to this.
And look,
this
I'm
is what a
covering
man
my
is.
wrist because I don't got no watch on.
But now we don't even need them.
Yeah,
so
we
you
don't
know
need
what
no
I'm saying?
more.
Like, I do get a special little tingle when I do see a man with a watch on sometimes. But anyway, but so many women do still uphold this stand, like, and it makes it more difficult for men, even when men do learn. Oh, I don't have to subscribe to this shit, or I don't have to, like, stay in this box. Then you got a bitch on Twitter being like, as a man, why are you wearing Chelsea boots? It's just like, bitch,
Because I got fucking style, bitch.
it's like, what the fuck do you want these niggas to do? It's like, you want a nigga to, like, be emotionally available and be kind and, like, take in your kids and, like, cook and love you. But it's like, but bitch, you can never eat out. Like, you cannot celebrate your birthday.
You better not be at that bar alone.
You like, it's just like so much. It's just so weird. So I just wanted to say to men, on the heels of Women's History Month, I know that there are a lot of things that and I'm not an apologist for those things, because obviously men have more privilege than women and always have. Period. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying that to say, like, y'all deserve a month too. Let's not go there. I'm just saying, and I think men do have a month, but anyway, I'm just saying that I think that it's important, exactly, and that's what I'm saying. We should all feel that way. Like, we should all feel like every day is my day, and I just want men to have more space to do that too. You know, like, I want men to be able to, like, do whatever they need within their friendships and their male friendships and their male bonds, and not be questioned about how they get their fulfillment and their love that day.
Absolutely.
You know, a bitch can't do everything for you. And I don't want to be the bitch that do everything for you. I need my nigga to have friends and intimate relationships and other people that they talk to and get fulfillment from. Because, bitch, I would be tired. Wouldn't you be tired?
Yeah, everybody would be tired.
It's crazy. But anyway. Yeah. Thank you all so much for listening to this episode and watching this episode. Cardi, thank you so much for being here. And we're going to talk to you in the next episode as well. Tell them once again where they can find you on the interwebs.
Instagram, Cartier Armani, Carde Armani. My Louis Vuitton page is Cardi LV, CARDYLV. And I'm on Twitter too, but I forget my Twitter name. It's
I'll figure it out, and I'll put it at the bottom. Yeah. I'll put it in the description.
Yeah.
Come holler at me.
Okay, perfect. Well, continue to do all the things that you've always done. Follow us on other places to be followed. You can follow us at Away With Words, the podcast on Instagram. You can follow me there at Bri Stories and at Bri_Stories on Twitter. And you can follow at A_Tati on Instagram and at Hey Tati on Twitter. And please do not be amiss and not follow at MJM Kid and at Moments_Stu, because you just should. Okay? You gotta. We love you so much. And we'll talk to you all next week. Everybody say bye.
Bye.